Okay, for exercise 2, we need to go and recreate this golden ratio. So we have a series of line that I've given you already. So based on our previous example, you see I've got some line work. Okay, what's also quite handy to know, if you use the injection tool, it creates these properties. Then you use the line tool, then it'll allow you to draw another line using the same information. So how do we go about creating this golden ratio? Okay, so we're going to use a series of techniques to get this done. So the first tool I'm going to use, so use your parameters tool, select the line types that what you want, so what line type you want to use. Then I'm going to use the circle tool and I'm going to create a circle. So I'm going to use this intersection or middle point, so where these lines intersect, and I'm going to go to the corner of this line. This, if you type in the angle of 360, you'll notice it created a circle, or I could have created an arc. Totally up to you. Now with everything preset, I'm going to use the line tool now. So everything is preset, we're using the same pen. I'm going to draw a bit of line work from this side and I'm going to intersect it with this part of the line. Great, I'm going to click again. I'm going to hold Control or Shift and I'm going to snap it to this endpoint over here. And I'm going to draw a bit of line work again in this direction and close the command. Great. At this point, you can get rid of the circle because it's given me the correct ratio. This is a very interesting phenomenon that you can keep drawing to infinity because the circle just gets smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Okay, the golden ratio. Okay, this is quite prevalent in design on how things scale smaller and smaller. There's a ratio in which they scale. Okay. Now, once you start drawing, to make this work correctly, you're going to need to work with a series of lines now. So use the line tool and I'm going to select this intersection. Now at a 45 degree, okay, so we need to snap at a 45 degree. Okay, so sometimes 135, you can hold Shift down and you can see it'll snap there. I'm going to draw the line back. So we're going to draw this back. Good. So I'm going to keep going. So from that side, I want 135. Snap an intersection. I'm going to draw up a line up again. Okay. So we're going to keep repeating this process until I've achieved this shape. Okay, so we need to do it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. 4 more times. Okay, so we're going to draw a bit of line work. 135 degrees. Okay, draw a bit of line work. Keep going. 45 degrees, snap, go down. Snap, keep going. Okay, so we need one more bit of line work. Okay, so, and we'll draw one more bit of line work up. Okay, so this is a good exercise on how to use the different tools and how to snap and intersect lines and how to draw accurately. Okay, so we need to reproduce this thick line. So for this exercise, I'm going to use the pick line tool again, and I'm going to pick my cut structural for this example. So I've got quite a thick line. Now we're going to use the circle tool. So what's quite neat is I'm going to use the circle tool. This time I'm going to snap from here, click to that point, and I'm going to start drawing my line work from there to there and click. Again, I'm going to select the same one. I'm going to use this intersection from there to there. Okay, I'm going to use this intersection from that intersection to that endpoint or intersection. Okay, so this is quite interesting. You want to work with geometry or line work that is mathematically sound. When you start using splines or objects that require a lot of maths, to set these out, to reproduce them for a contractor, it gets very difficult. So if you're going to create curves, try and adopt a mathematical principle that a contractor can use to set out your design on site. So just remember, a lot of these curves do come with some complexity, which are very difficult to get somebody to reproduce this. Okay, so that was straightforward. You can see it was very easy to create this shape. Okay, the exercise was quite Now with the line weight tool, so I'm just going to get back to the line weight tool. What you need to do sometimes is make sure that if you use a true color, these intersections need to be very accurate. So remember, with line weights disguise, you might end up with inaccuracy. So just remember while you're working to go and check that your snapping or your intersections have been done correctly. Okay, but pretty straightforward. So for this exercise, you need to measure these 2 dimensions. So once again, select the measuring tool, make sure that you've got the correct dimension type activated, and you need to give me these diagonals. So please go and measure these diagonals for me. So click that intersection, double click anywhere, again select that, and you need to give me another dimension. Now with endpoints, with a line, you can select on the line itself. Okay, so please go and measure the correct lines and give me the answers. Again, they must be rounded lines or rounded numbers. Okay, so pretty straightforward. So that's it for exercise 2.